Coach, if you see that aggression that we perceive that it would take, because Coach does single training, which is, I think, I want to say it's $50 per hour, but then he
Mhm,
also does group training, which is $30 per hour.
mhm,
And typically, Coach, you can see Coach just explain how he likes to build a familiar or a family rapport, because that's a good way to gauge, that's a good way to reach, that's a good way to teach these young men and women. So, Coach, when you've reached them and when you're in the group sessions, when you see that aggression, when you see that type of uh, that emotional, maybe OC out of control, how do
mhm.
you how do you go about, Coach, in your when people are under your realm, under your reign? How do you stop that or nip that in the bud?
I treat them, man. I don't have one method. I treat each kid accordingly. I just talk to them like they were my own. I just speak to them and show them the love and toughness, tough love that I would to my own. For example, I had this one kid in there one day, and he's pretty aggressive, and I like his aggression as far in regards when he's playing. But sometimes he don't control his emotions, and so he got upset with another kid, and he took off the swing. He really live fighting in there, and I was like, man, really? So I grabbed him up, squeezed him real tight to get him where I wanted him to be. So we got over kind of behind the wall or whatever. I had the other guys shoot free throws, man, and I really laid it on him, and I laid it on him in a way as if I was his father, and I was disappointed in him. So I just put it to him that way, and I gave him some examples of, if you do this in an environment that is not controlled by a teacher or parent or a coach like myself, you can get yourself killed. You know what I'm saying? Because this guy's seventh grade. I said, in the next 2 years, okay, you'll be ninth grade, be 15 or 16. You're out at the park somewhere. I just explained it to him like that, and you're playing and you're popping off at your mouth like that, running up in people's face, taking a swing at them, and then you're out here with a kid who does not have a future, who do not have guidance at home, who do not have a coach, who do not have a parent that's teaching them something. And the first thing they're gonna want to do, they're gonna go to their bag and they're gonna get something, and they're gonna take you out of here, man. It's just for simple stuff like just talking and being disrespectful. I said, man, if you feel like you need to be that disrespectful to somebody, man, it's time to go. It's time to pack your bags and leave, man. Or you got to just be able to move accordingly, man. I tell people all the time, I'm not a chump, but I just try to move in a way that's gonna help eliminate, silly problems like that. Like, I don't disrespect nobody, whether I feel like I can master that person or whoop them, or I got a weapon and all that stuff. It doesn't matter if I have an advantage. I'm not gonna disrespect no one, because, as I stated earlier, you don't know what people going through. You don't know what their mindset is. It's always best to just play it cool, man. The guys that play it cool are usually the guys that make it home. So I just hit him with a speech like that, man, and he had me so upset. I found myself getting a little, because I really like this kid, man, and I see that streak in him that can cause him a lot of trouble. So I got a little emotional, not seriously, but he seen how serious I was. And man, he just dropped his head, man. Then he just started saying, I'm sorry, coach. I'm sorry. I understand what you're saying. I said, man, I'm telling you this because I care about you. You can lose your life out here doing that type of stuff, man. You don't want to take care of the energy with you, and it's unnecessary.
Absolutely, Coach. And that's awesome. And that's how we are to really handle young people, right? You
Mhm,
are to grip them up and show them that love, right? And
mhm,
explain I try to explain to my kids, man, a lot of children in my community, they think I'm a mean guy because I don't talk to
mhm,
everybody. And my hey, coach, I get that from my playing days. When
mhm,
I'm getting ready to say, coach, if you got a team and you got a good player and you trying to get that player, you trying to teach him something
mhm,
or her something, you gonna stay on them. You gonna stay on them. But now, when you don't say nothing to them, that's when
mhm.
you worry. You know what I'm saying? That's when,
Yes.
as a player, you say, "Wait a minute, I need to schedule some time with coach." Because at this point, I'm just a body out here, and he or
Mhm,
she has made up in their mind that I'm not gonna waste my good energy on this kid on me because
mhm.
I'm uncoachable. I can't listen.
Right.
So man, I talk to the ones that will take that. I talk to them, man. The ones that don't, I just say, well, I tell my son and my daughter, like, hey, same thing you said. Uh, everybody's not the same. Everybody's
Right.
values aren't the same, and everybody doesn't have that emotional intelligence that you talked about, Coach. And
Mhm.
so, somebody with nothing to lose, they're dangerous because the most petty and minute thing can get you taken out of here.
Yes, it can, man.
Yeah, so, Coach, man.